Calaran, our home. Just over a century ago now, the Empire split into three separate forces. The Asedak, a tribe of men native to the northern islands of Glacier, a brutal and ruthless people bred as warriors. They despised any race that was not of men and so forbade elves, dwarves and goblins from entering their lands. They are the mightiest and most deadly of all warriors in Calaran. The Fallen, they live in the lush forest lands of Everwood, seen as the most beautiful region in Calaran. Being a welcoming and humbling tribe, all manner of creatures lived within their walls, men, elves and dwarves alike. Everwood is home to the almighty Archmage Graydon. And finally the Yathir, a collective of orcs and goblins native to the land of Blackstone, a dark, mountainous land. Now they are on the brink of war with the Asedak. Constant attempts at diplomacy have failed and the tension has continued to escalate between the two tribes. War, however, is the least of Calaran's problems. Millennia ago, when our world was discovered, the first Archmage to enter the land created a book in which he stored the oldest and most powerful of magical spells. This book was called the Arcanium. For thousands of years, the Archmages have kept the Arcanium safe from the forces of evil. Peace had coveted the land of Calaran for thousands and thousands of years, but no longer. We go now to the city of Willowstring on the outskirts of Everwood, where an armada of goblins are leading a siege on the city. Archmage Graydon has fled to the library to ensure the safety of the building. A door swings open and a young man enters and runs towards Graydon.
Master Graydon, what is happening?
Suddenly, a flaming rock crashes through the roof of the library and onto the floor, igniting nearby objects in flames.
The city is being attacked by goblins.
Goblins? They never come this far into our land. Why did they leave Blackstone?
My apprentice these are not Blackstone goblins. They're rogue and have no tribe. But what I fear most is their purpose for being here.
And why do you think they are here, Master?
I do not know. That's why I fear it.
Graydon runs to a nearby wall and pushes a loose brick. As it begins to sink into the wall, a panel from the floor removes itself, revealing a chest.
Is that?
Graydon falls to his knees and opens the chest. Inside lay a large book.
The Arcanium.
I made a promise when I became the Archmage to keep this safe until the end of my days.
You think the goblins are here for the Arcanium?
No sooner were the words out of Daniel's mouth than a loud thud came from a nearby wall.
It's not goblins.
What is that?
Something I hope you never have to face. Daniel, you must take the Arcanium. It is no longer safe here.
What? Why?
We don't have enough time. Should this book come into the wrong hands, it would mean the end of Calaran as we know it. Please, Daniel, take the book.
Daniel hesitates for a moment before grasping the book and placing it in his satchel.
Promise me you will do what you can to protect that book.
Yes, I promise.
Now, you must leave with all haste. I shall delay him as long as I can.
Delay? Who?
There is no time. Run, Daniel, with all speed.
Daniel rushes to his feet and sprints through the nearby door. Only seconds later, a ball of blue fire bursts through the wall. From within the smoke, a tall, dark figure reveals himself.
Master Graydon.
Orchard, you are too late. The Arcanium is far away from here now. It is safe.
With an outburst of anger, Archard strikes Graydon with a bolt of lightning, throwing him into a nearby bookcase.
You old fool! My strength is far superior to yours.
Power is not measured by strength alone.
Graydon makes a hand gesture and a beam of white light strikes Archer to the ground.
Wisdom is another factor, something I knew you had always lacked.
Enough games!
Archer clasped his hands together, and from inside of them a ball of black smoke appeared. As he threw his hands forward, the smoke clouded around Graydon. As it touched him, his skin began to slowly disintegrate. With his dying breath, he said,
The Arcanium will never be yours.
Finally, his body disappeared into the smoke, which glided across the room and disappeared into the air. Archer strode into the middle of the room. He looked around for a moment in search of the Arcanium. As he thrust his arms down to his sides, his forearms were engulfed in green flames. He began to strike the bookcases around the room, hoping to reveal the Arcanium. Finally, his anger subsided. He raised his arms once more, and smoke began to dance around his feet. As it covered his entire body, it pulsed. The smoke cleared. Archer was nowhere to be seen.